A very good morning. If you paid attention to yesterday's market outlook, there was money to be saved or money to be made. EURUSD coming through with the beautiful price action, and we're going to discuss it all in today's market outlook. Good morning, guys. My name is Fabio, and welcome back to another daily market outlook where we are discussing EURUSD, the other major dollar pairs, and of course gold. Now, EURUSD has retraced in towards the initial area of daily imbalance right over here. As we can see, we wick straight in, boom, straight back out. As I mentioned in yesterday's video, EURUSD is bullish, but you don't want to be longing over here. No, you want to be waiting for an area of demand, for example, this imbalance over here on the daily, or this sell for the buy over here on the daily. Now, looking at your dollar, obviously it's still heavily overextended. Preferably you would want to be going long at around the 0.5 fib for high probability longs or higher probability longs, but obviously as well, as long as the overall momentum is still bullish, there is no reason not to be looking for buys. Now, at the same time, the current fractal low, the current fractal high are still bullish as well, together with the swing structure being from this low in towards this high. We're trading after the break of structure over here, so a pullback can always be expected. However, we don't expect a pullback until we see something of a trend shift on the lower time frame. So knowing that the daily is bullish, obviously we can still look for longs, but we do keep in our mind that we are obviously trading at, for example, this swing high, that we are trading after the break of structure, and that there is potential for a deeper pullback. But we have tapped into a daily imbalance, which is acting as daily demand, and the overall swing trend and momentum is in towards the upside. Therefore, upside is the higher probability play. Looking here at the 4-hour time frame, it becomes a little bit easier then to analyze, because here we can currently see that the current fractal low and the current fractal high are a lot closer to one another. Also, drawing in a Fibonacci retracement tool, you can very clearly see that the market retraced exactly into the 618, retraced in towards this 4-hour area of demand, and that is where the market then eventually reversed from, using this initial low as a liquidity low. Going down in towards the 1-hour time frame, you can then also very clearly see that we have the overall descending corrective price action in the form of a descending channel. So again, overall price action extremely clear, and some beautiful longs were to be taken. As we can see over here, we got the overall 50-minute change of character over here, and that could have been a signal to go long from this area of demand further in towards the upside. So I hope some of you were able to capitalize on some EURUSD potential longs, and I am still looking for EURUSD longs as long as obviously the 4-hour fractal remains bullish. Now again, where are we trading at? We're trading at the higher area of this overall 4-hour fractal level, and what I mean with this level is like the overall 4-hour fractal fib. We can very clearly see here we've already retraced in towards 618. If obviously we were to draw in the premium versus discount, where do you want to go long? You would go long at a discount, and you don't really want to be going long at a premium. So let's see what happens today. Obviously, I'm favoring the overall next leg up now for EURUSD, following the overall order flow. Looking at past price action for the past few weeks, that is obviously the play that makes sense, but we will need to monitor and see what is going to happen, as today we have NFP, and again, it's obviously going to be gambling because nobody knows what the numbers are going to be on NFP. But let's see. Bad NFP numbers will obviously push EURUSD most likely up higher, and good NFP numbers will push EURUSD down lower. So today is a bit of a gambling day. It's Thursday. Tomorrow is a bank holiday in the US, and today with those NFP numbers, anything can pretty much happen. But overall, from a market structure perspective, I hope that the overall bias is a little bit more clear. So let's wait and find out to see what happens. But again, overall, the 4-hour fractal is bullish, the daily fractal is bullish, the daily swing is bullish, the 4-hour swing is bullish, and even the 1-hour fractal and the 1-hour swing, or no, the 1-hour fractal is bearish at the moment, excuse me. The 1-hour swing is also bullish. It's similar to the 4-hour fractal structure, with this being the low, this being the high. So yes, I mean, longs overall make sense from every single perspective. Let's see what happens. Can we see another push up? Maybe get this as a demand zone and then look for some more upside. We'll be monitoring what happens. Now, going into the dollar index, because obviously you want to be looking at the dollar index to see if there's any alignment with EURUSD. Now, the dollar index has retraced again into the level that I mentioned in yesterday's video, which was this daily area of imbalance with the current fractal high, the current fractal low. So here, from a daily perspective, this makes a lot of sense. We've retraced up into premium, in towards supply, and now we're pushing down lower again. So obviously, you're going to be looking for shorts from based on that analysis. The only thing currently stopping the dollar index is this area of demand, the sub for the buy here. So once we break that, because the overall However, order flow has been bullish in towards the upside on the 4-hour time frame, meaning sell for the buy here, pushing price up higher, sell for the buy here, now potentially pushing the price up higher. But if the current fractal low breaks, that would be kind of like the signal for some further downside. So that's what I'm looking for on the dollar index. Very, very simple overall supply here in control, and if we do keep pushing down lower, then obviously from a higher time frame perspective, pretty much 94.629 would be the next target. Now moving on into AUDUSD, we can see that AUDUSD here has been respecting the overall demand zone. Again, pushed down lower yesterday. Hope some of you have been able to capitalize, because guys, this is exactly what I broke down in yesterday's video. I mentioned in yesterday's video that I wanted to see this low get taken out and then the over reversal tap in towards this fresh area of demand. Boom, we fly back out. So hope some of you were able to capitalize on that. As you can see, there was money to be made here. The 1-hour fractal confirmation. Some clean price action overall. Let's monitor what happens today. Again, the market currently is consolidating in anticipation of NFP, but overall the 4-hour is fractal bullish, 4-hour demand flow is bullish, everything is bullish again for AUDUSD. The daily fractal is bullish, so I'm not going to be sitting here and saying from a technical perspective look for shorts. No, from a technical perspective, longs are the only way to go. However, you need to keep in mind that NFP can change everything in a snap of a finger, so keep that in mind. But overall, looking good for further upside. Going into GBPUSD, I mentioned yesterday, because this is actually one of those pairs that made a quite big drop, but overall all the GBP pairs did, because there was some uncertainty around the position of reefs in the United Kingdom. If you want more information on this, you should join the Discord, link in the description down below. I did a market update on it, but overall we can see that the pound fell across the board, especially like GBP Swiss fell extremely hard, GBP USD fell extremely hard, as we can see. So all the pound pairs fell extremely hard, and this has to do with the fact that the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom mentioned that he did not know if Reeves was going to remain in her position within the cabinet, and then what happens is that the pound fell off a cliff due to political uncertainty. So that's the reason why GU fell. Now, for now, we have to keep in mind that GBPUSD is one of the pairs that I'm kind of like least inclined to trade, because the daily fractal is currently bearish with that daily supply being in control, and here we have the daily demand open. So it's kind of like either you go long from here and you can take a short from here, but we've already seen a retracement into where? In towards the 0.5 fib, and the overall, let's say, swing is still bullish. So longs are the only thing to make sense. Yes, you can look for shorts from that supply zone after grabbing liquidity above that weekly swing high. Go to the 4-hour time frame, you'll see that the 4-hour fractal is bearish as well. So if you want to take a short, you can, guys. Like, you could take a short position from wherever, wait maybe for the 1-hour confirmation, go to the 1-hour time frame. Let's see, so there's no liquidity in the overall push down, so this is kind of like acting as liquidity over here. Let's see, maybe we get something like this, and then a kind of like a sell-off on the fractal break, get some ascending structure, and then you could take a short position kind of like as a hedge, maybe against, like, for example, AUDUSD and EURUSD longs. But again, it's kind of like gambling, but do keep in mind that that is possible for GBPUSD, because again, the daily fractal is bearish, the 4-hour fractal is bearish, so there is potential for this thing to sell off. The other ones I don't like for sales at all, but this is kind of like the only sell that I see. So if you are bullish on the dollar index, then GBPUSD sells are kind of like your way to go, in my opinion. I'm not personally going to be taking it unless I see some better developments, but obviously with NFP it's kind of gambling. Then NZDUSD, and I don't see any longs on GU for now. NZDUSD, slow still, to be very honest. Nothing too nice. Retraced yesterday in towards this overall supply zone. So yesterday we broke the fractal low down. Then obviously this becomes supply. We tap into supply and we start selling off again. So some nice clean price action over here. NZDUSD is similar to GBPUSD, where you have good sells. Look, overall this is what you have, premium versus discount. So obviously you're trading at a premium, so the pullback could still be deeper. Still a lot of ascending lows here, and we're now inside supply. Go to the 1-hour time frame and you will see that there was a liquidity sweep here at the top, and then you could sell it here on the low break. Now let's see if the market wants to head down lower still. I'll be monitoring this for potential shorts, but then again, we'll need to see what NFP does. But those shorts from a technical perspective do look pretty good. Then going into USD Swiss. So USD Swiss looking for still further downside. It's consolidating again in anticipation of NFP. Today we had interest or inflation numbers come out in Switzerland. They came out a little bit better than expected. but we'll have to see what the underlying reason and what the underlying interpretation of that inflation data is. So I'll drop an update on that inside Discord as well. But overall, obviously, just looking to capitalize on the downside momentum. 9th of July is the deadline for trade deals, and if there's no trade deals announced whatsoever, then the Swiss should appreciate and USD Swiss should continue to push down lower. And then we have dollar yen. So dollar yen was a nice short yesterday. Obviously, it reacted to the overall kind of like 4-hour supply zone over here, the 4-hour buy before the sell, with the 4-hour fractal being bearish. Then the 1-hour time frame gave us the bearish fractal in towards the downside, and then this is kind of like the short position that you could be in at the moment. It's consolidating, so I would kind of like, yeah, close it at break even, or if you want to leave it open, you can obviously leave it open as a hedge against other positions that you have open, because yeah, I mean, overall it's a nice short position in the sense that you're trading with the overall momentum, you're trading with the overall daily order flow. We tapped in towards daily supply, 4-hour fractals bearish, daily fractals bearish, and there's still a lot of lows open to take out. So from that perspective, I like it, but again, yeah, the market is moving slow in anticipation of NFP today. So that's kind of like what the market is waiting for. And then we obviously have gold. So what's happening with gold? Gold has pushed up higher. Yesterday, there was a very nice 1-hour long opportunity. I shared this inside Discord that the daily fractal was bullish, first of all, here. So after breaking the daily fractal high, then you're ultimately looking for longs. Now on the 1-hour time frame, you obviously had this massive rally showcasing that gold is bullish. Then we had here the reaccumulation phase. Then what happened yesterday morning, and I highlighted this again inside Discord, not sure if I did it in the market outlook, but you swept the low here of liquidity, then boom, boom, reversal up, fractal break. This is the 1-hour demand that broke that 1-hour fractal, and then from there you could go long. So yesterday, again, on my Alpha Prime account, I also opened this long on gold for a simple 1 to 2 risk to reward, and you can see TP was just above the high. Beautifully hit. So overall, beautiful price action from gold. Those were the longs to take. Now price is a little bit slow. Overall, you're still looking for longs, but then again, NFP can do whatever it wants with price, but I'll be looking for further upside ultimately. But if it does dump down deeper, then I'll just look for new potential longing opportunities after we liquidate some lows first. So that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Wish you all a fantastic trading day. Any questions, join Discord, and the live session of today will be hosted in Discord as well. Thanks.